Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Suds News. I am Vinny, and as always, I am joined by Angela. Angela, how are you today? How's everything going?
I am great. How are you? I'm in a little bit of a bizarro world, but it's all good. All good, friend. We have a lot of
Yes,
fun
Bizarro World.
spoilers tonight, but
Yes, we
that'll
do
come
have
later.
spoilers. Yes, of course.
Yes.
You'll have to stay tuned for those spoilers. Hi, Steve. Welcome to the chat. And folks, go ahead and get your comments in the chat. We want to have you interact with us. We are live here. Today is Monday, June 2nd. Can you believe it's already June? I am shocked that it's so already almost the half of the year is over.
Yeah, I can't believe it. That doesn't seem correct.
But yeah, a lot of stuff has gone on this past week. Not all of it's soap opera related, but wrestling related as well. And of course, the entire internet wrestling community has been up in a tizzy for the past 24 hours or so. But that's neither here nor there. Actually, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central, which is 9 p.m. Eastern, I am going to be on the Kicking Out at 2 podcast with Michael that was on the Sudsy nominee special this past Friday. So he and I are going to be going over current events in the world of wrestling tomorrow. We'll be getting into all the news regarding WWE, AEW, TNA, and the like, especially getting into the current tizzy that's got the IWC up in arms of contracts expiring and not being renewed. But we'll get into that at another point in time. It's been a long week. I do want to go ahead and thank Chris McKenna, who we know is plays Jack Brennan on General Hospital. I want to thank him for pointing out a couple of typos that I had in the Sudsy recast category, who he liked and reposted. And Alexa Havens plays Lulu, not Alexis Havens. So I had to fix that. And then underneath her name, the graphic said Beyond the Gates instead of General Hospital. So a couple of those things I did fix, and I added the L into his name because he goes by Chris L. McKenna. So a couple things. I'm human. I make mistakes. And when I was putting those videos together, I was on 18 hours a week and 19 hours a week. So I was really, really tired. So it happens, but it's been fixed. I want to give a thank you out. Thank you, Anya. Yes, you're right. We all do make mistakes.
Yes.
But anyways, so as you know, the Sudsy voting is the voting for the Sudsy Awards is open. Go over to suds-media.com/Sudsy voting and cast your votes. They'll be open for the entire month of June. And then the actual Sudsy Awards event is going to be on Friday night, August 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern. I am working on getting all of the presenters together. Obviously, Angela and Kim and the guys from John from Chair Shot Sports, Princess Skywalker, Jesse B from the Lowdown, Mike from the Run-In, Michael from Kicking Out at 2. So we're all gonna be together, and Julie Dove is going to be a presenter this year.
Which is good fun. Love her.
Yes, she is fantastic. She was on the podcast-a-thon in November, if you remember.
Yep.
I'm also working on Jacqueline Grace Lopez. She said that she will do it depending on her schedule at that point in time, so I'll keep everybody posted. I am working on a couple other podcasters as well as celebrities to do that. Do want to let everybody know I am in the middle of reading Beyond Nitro, which is the newest book from Guy Evans, and I will be going ahead and booking an interview with him in the not so distant future once I've finished reading that book. So, out of everything that's going on, and Anya says Angela looks adorable tonight.
Oh, thank you, wifey.
But we are live here on Twitter X, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And we are here to talk about
I saw that comment. I'm sorry, Anya. I saw that comment, and you're in big trouble when I get home from work tonight, honey.
So we are live all here, and we are here to talk about General Hospital. And General Hospital has been on fire.
Oh, it was crazy. It's been so good.
It has, yes.
Just, oh my God. I can't. There are no words.
No, you're absolutely right. But we do have a show, though, so we need to find the words to describe what's going on.
Me. I'll always find words.
Yes, and we're going to have to talk about everything. The fallout from the nurses' ball is here because of the simple fact that so much went down at the nurses' ball.
Yeah.
So we're
let's start with the prodigal son in the room.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the cover picture, cover thumbnail has Michael, the recasted Michael and Jason, kind of catching up, regrouping, and strategizing as we move forward towards the court case starting tomorrow.
Yes. It was so good.
It was.
Michael's return. And I got to say, I loved the stuff with Michael, last Monday, with Wiley in the foyer of the nurses' ball. And then he goes and Jason appears as if from nowhere. And then, Carly and Sonny and everybody else. And I love Jason. Where's Donna? All right, let's go. Gathering up Carly and Joss, and Sonny's like, I got something better to do. And they're just like, yes, see ya. And Carly's just looking at Nina, see ya in court. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Nina, who was all, oh, you just lost Michael, his children.
Yeah.
And, Willow, who had just been, her and Drew had just been telling Carly that, Michael can have every other weekend and 2 weeks in the summer if they move to DC.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And Drew looked like he ate a bug.
Yes.
And yeah, it was just fantabulous. And I loved my little Spencer Morgan family reunion with, Joss and the kids. Michael made me like that kid.
Yeah. It was absolutely fantastic. Obviously, there was no episode last Monday, but we were here.
No, that's not Tuesday.
Yeah. But on Tuesday, it just picked right up after the nurses' ball, Wiley running into Michael's arms, and just the way as he's walking out the door, and Wiley yells, "Bye, mommy," and just fantastic.
So good. And Willow is just like, what the hell? And then she's all mad at Jason because he picked up Amelia. You have no right. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He did it because the kid's father asked him to.
And Matt pointed that out when Drew and Willow go to press charges for kidnapping, and Matt comes back and says, well,
sorry.
Yeah.
And Matt comes back and says, he had an emergency court order giving him full custody. And then they're just like, shit, now what? And, I just want to say one more thing that I really loved. I loved Jason watching Carly and Joss and Michael all reunite, like all teary-eyed. Yep. Steve's so great with that whole wet eyes emotion thing.
Yes.
And I loved the hug between Jason and Michael. Agreed. I loved, of course, Sasha and Michael.
Yep.
Sparks were flying immediately.
There were, yep. Oh, they're going to be such a great couple. Yeah. Lori Gibson came in and hitting on all cylinders. Like just
gangbusters.
Yeah, seriously. Like,
oh my God.
I'm telling you. And nothing, again, nothing against Chad Duell. Chad Duell played the role for so many years.
We love
Chad. It needed a refresh.
We love Chad, but here's the thing. Yeah. And I have no doubt that Chad could have played Dark Michael too. None whatsoever. Yeah. However, Chad chose not to come back.
Correct. Yes.
So there's no reason we can't love Rory and still love Chad. Chad chose not to come back. And like, there were so many naysayers who had seen him on, I love you, Anya. So many naysayers who had seen him on Young and the Restless going, oh God, he's horrible. He's horrible. They just never gave him anything on the Young and the Restless. That was the problem, is that they literally, he was sitting in coffee shops or at a bar talking about where life is going. I mean, it was nothing. They never gave that character anything. He never had anything to play that he could be good or bad at. He was just there.
Hey, goodbye, girl. Welcome to the chat. She says hello. So she is here and having announced herself. No, you're absolutely right. Like, I never saw the character on Young and the Restless because I'm not a huge Young and the Restless watcher. I maybe watched it for a month or so, but
and if you had watched it, you might have missed him because, as I said,
really. No, but see, here's the thing: is that he came in and just immediately had chemistry with Willow, had chemistry with Sasha, had chemistry with the entire family, and even made Christina somewhat likable today.
I know, right? Yeah. It was he came in like gangbusters. He really did. He had amazing chemistry. I loved the scenes with him and Carly when they were finally alone and she was ready to face his wrath.
Yeah.
But, he told her she was right, which I love. And then Willow shows up.
Yep.
And he was just...
Oh, fantastic. Just the way that he told Willow off with no emotion and just point blank, sorry, you're not going to come in to disrupt the kids. You're not going to come and say goodnight. They're with their father. They're already in bed. Yep. Adios.
And then the kids belong with me. Not anymore. Yeah. And he didn't even let her in. It was beautiful. We will stay out here. You are not disrupting them. And he is, Jason asked him if there was any truth to him doing it to punish her. And he said that there might be part of that, but he truly is trying to do what's right for the kids.
Yes. It would have been, I'm wondering if it comes out in court. By the way, hi, Donna. Willow said that, she said Willow had brought the wine with her. Which is true. Yes. I'm wondering if it comes out in court, if Michael makes a comment saying, well, if you would come to see me in Germany, you would know what my thoughts were, which would obviously uncover the fact that Drew is the one that, paid off the person to tell Willow that he didn't want to see it.
But I kind of think that'll come out later.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to come out quite yet because it's... I think that that will come out the same time Nina sleeping with Willow or Nina sleeping with Drew will come out. I think it's all going to be the same whole kerfuffle. But I really liked. Michael is he is calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah.
He is showing his Spencer, his Quartermain, his Morgan, I suppose his Corinthos a little bit. It was painful for me to say. But I said it. So, Rory's killing it. 10 out of 10, no notes, absolute perfection. And anybody who thinks they're not hooking Michael and Sasha up,
they are.
What they're smoking. They are very obviously doing it. She's twinkling all over him. He's twinkling all over her. Rory is posting their behind-the-scenes stuff all over his Instagram. That's the pairing for right now.
Mm-hmm.
Deal. Cry harder. Find a way to cope. It's happening, sweetheart.
Yeah.
So,
and the fact is that it looks to me like Nina's not going to release the information that Michael is Sasha's baby's father.
That is so funny to me. I mean, I swear to God, this woman would rather her daughter lose her children than take a chance at losing her.
Yeah.
Everything Carly said to her was true.
Yeah.
Every damn word. Every word.
Yep.
And what's really funny is I'm pretty sure Ava's going to tell Rick.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Because I think that's what sends Sasha into early labor this week. Did you see the promo?
I did, yeah.
Yep. So good. It's going to be another fire week. And I know a lot of people have been laughing at me because I said, they're like, well, everybody keeps asking me where Willow will end up when the truth comes out, if they're doing Michael and Sasha. And I have been saying, she's ended up with Chase.
Yeah.
They'll fracture. They're already, he's already jealous and insecure. BLQ and Dante are going to be trying to get through to their son. She's going to want to pause the adoption. Something's going to happen. And look who is in court this week. Chase.
Yep.
No BLQ in sight, just Chase. And I'm just like, I'm thinking.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. It makes the most sense. I'll tell you, though, Brooklyn, she got on my nerves a little bit today.
Okay.
Like, now don't get me. Now I'm gonna preface it by saying I completely understand her frustration, her anger, her being hurt by what Lois and Gloria did and everything. But see, here's the thing. I personally feel that she's being a little too hard on Lois and Gloria. I think because here's the deal. Now, granted, Brooklyn asked for a closed adoption. Lois, yes. They didn't go for a closed adoption. They kept Gio in the family, basically, and then started raising him and everything. The one thing that I didn't understand about Brooklyn talking to about their conversation today was when Brooklyn said Camilla passed away when he was 12. And after that, he was an orphan.
Yeah.
If you're coming from Brooklyn, if your instructions were to have a closed adoption, the fact that Lois didn't tell you or say anything to you kept your wishes.
Right, except for the fact that her wishes were give him to a family. Give my child to a family in a closed adoption.
Right.
Lois did not do that.
Very true. Very true.
And when his mother died and he didn't have a father already,
yep.
I don't think there's any bad guy here.
No.
But I understand everybody's point of view. I don't think Brooklyn's wrong. I don't think Lois is wrong. I don't think you know what I mean? I understand people have done wrong, but nobody's the villain.
Except for maybe Lulu.
Nope. Lulu's not the damn villain either. She's not. Because look at Dante yelling at her more than he gave smoke to Brooklyn for not telling him.
Yeah, very true.
He's freaked out. She's the big bad because she didn't tell him. He's madder at her than he is at Brooklyn.
Which I
so
I get that too.
And she was just trying to confirm it before telling him.
Which makes sense. And I think Dante overreacted with yelling at Lulu like that.
I was so glad she was just like, boy, bye.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is about Dante turning this,
into his father.
Well, yeah, that's what it is that he's channeling his Sonny.
Mm-hmm. He is. And that's never a good thing. Sonny is not somebody to emulate. Dante, if there is a bad guy here, it's Dante.
Yeah, I would tend to agree.
And I'm really, really happy that they're not going to go right back. This might be a good time for one of those spoilers.
Oh, yes. Let's go.
So I'm really, really happy that they're not going to go right back to Lulu and Brooke and Dante.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make a few pit stops first. Brooklyn and Dante, and Cody and Lulu. And then they will move Cody on tomorrow. I mean, they're just pit stops, just a little bit of, space, a little bit of strange, a little bit of something, something. But I like that because, Dante needs to, I'm sure he'll act all offended that, Lulu's daring to date somebody who is his friend or whatever, but whatever, he can kiss my very voluptuous behind. But yeah, so they're gonna be visiting Cody and Lulu for a little while, and then move it on to
Molly gets custody of Scout. Is this true?
I haven't heard that one, but Donna is people who knows people.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very interesting.
Donna, or is that actually happening?
Well, we'll have to see. That would actually be if Drew is deemed unfit to be a parent, then they would go to Molly.
Yeah.
Donna said it's a joke. Okay.
But she is people who knows people. She gets the goods, so you always got to wonder if she's being funny or not. But yeah, so they're gonna play around with
Would Cody and Lulu's ship name be Ludi?
I don't know.
Or Kolu?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I hate those ship names as it is.
I know. It's so bizarre.
Jeannie.
Giving me and my new friend one today. My funny Jarly friends. giving me and my new friend one. I'm like, hello. Anyway, Kolu.
Yeah.
We could also play around with her whole name because her name's Leslie Lou. So we'll come up with something.
Yeah. But I agree. I think trust me, I get it. I know families squabble and they go through extremes, ups and downs. So Coludi might work.
I like cozy.
Well,
it's spelled differently, but
Yeah, exactly. Would it be Posley because of Leslie Lou? So
all right, I gotta work on it then.
Anyways, moving on. They colluded, yeah, exactly. But even the scene with Cody and Lulu, as they were kind of sharing the beer on the porch, which,
caused a big brouhaha.
It did. It caused a big brouhaha.
It was ridiculous because Lulu can have a beer. And she didn't need a new liver. She didn't need a new liver because of alcohol damage. She wasn't getting shit-faced. She wasn't doing body shots off a stripper. It was a beer. Exactly. It was an American beer.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
She's okay.
But either way, it was just such a great scene. Just he was trying to comfort her because she was upset because Dante was upset. And Cody's just been there. I really like how serious they've made Cody now.
Yes.
Even he does have his jokester side, don't get me wrong, and I really like the nonchalant way of life that he has, but I also like the fact that he's more into the seriousness now.
Well, that'll be good for when they do put him with Molly.
Yes.
Because, she can't have somebody just completely a dork. So.
No, you're absolutely right. Apparently, I'm assuming TJ went to the Dominican Republic to get their civil partnership.
I have no idea. I'm waiting for Jordan to mention that he's all settled in Seattle or something.
Yeah. Which that would mean him and Finn are working together if he's in Seattle.
Or him and his dad. Because I think isn't Sean out there?
Sean is out on the West Coast. Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, it's like I I understand again with contracts and talent and everything, but they still should have still had some kind of a closure for the TJ character. All of a sudden, he just dropped off the face of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. I'm not in their shoes, but
Yeah.
um. So while we were talking about Jason and Michael and the whole family, I liked the conversation with Michael and Jason as they kind of just catch up
Yes.
and they start to strategize. And Jason's like, I'm here to help you with whatever you need, and I liked the reasoning for bringing Sasha. That Amelia knew Sasha, was more comfortable with Sasha, and that's why he brought her there.
And it was just it was really. I liked Jason coming back and them talking. They've always had that relationship. He's always had Michael's back. Always will. That's his boy.
Yeah, it is.
And it's really funny that Sonny still has not had any scenes with him.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I think it's very telling that Rory screen tested with Laura and Steve and not Mo.
Wow.
He screen tested with Eden first because he auditioned for Vaughn.
Okay, yeah.
But he wasn't right for that. Frank called him back. Frank thought he was perfect for Michael, called him back for Michael. He screen tested with Kate Manzi, Caitlin McCullen. He did screen test with Sophia Matson. I did find that out. And then he was called in for another screen test with Laura and Steve. And I think that one was together. All of them together, which I love. My Spencer Morgan family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow. So, but yeah, the fact that he didn't have to screen test with Mo is crazy.
Or Dominic.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm sure there are going to be Michael and Sonny scenes. There's going to be. He didn't screen test with Mo. They'll Mo's not going into it quite yet, but there will have scenes. But I really think that Mo's going to be really in this Geo thing.
Aisha asks how long before Tracy clears herself of the drugging charges. I'm not sure where they're going with that because
Carly's telling Drew that Nina was behind it this week.
Yeah.
And Drew already knew that Portia was involved.
Yep. So Donna says he's not throwing a good audition partner.
Yeah.
So just a lot, I really like where they're going because there's so many different places. There have been a lot of people not on this past week because of the stories that had been the fallout of the nurses' ball. Like we haven't seen Brennan in over a week.
We haven't seen Brennan in 2 weeks. He wasn't on last week or the week before.
Right, because he's really not involved in those stories.
He is on this week with Anna.
Yes. But we finally did get to see we did get to see Laura and Alexis talking on today, because Laura confronted her about the missing money from the Cassadine fortune, and just out of just like it's like chump change. Oh, $10 million missing from the which is crazy to me, but
I know already. Jeez, leaving that kid dry.
Yeah, although I'm sure it's got billions or trillions in that estate. So. Steve asks, why are they waiting so long to kill off Monica?
Because they weren't going to write it until after Leslie died. And the thing too is that you have to understand they lay out stories for at least they lay out overviews of stories for a year, and they lay out details of stories for 6 months. So it's hard to just insert something like that because it has after effects as well. So they didn't want to, they had already planned the anniversary thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, they switched that because they had hoped that Leslie was going to be able to come, but she had already passed when they filmed it. But then they had May Sweeps coming up.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure they wanted Michael
to be back
here as well because him and Monica were so close. And I mean, exactly. Sonia Eddy, Jackie Zeman. I mean, Jackie Zeman, a lot of that was also that it was the writer's strike, but also it was because Corte wanted to do it herself.
Yeah.
So they didn't want it overshadowed by May Sweeps. I think we'll see it either. I mean, they're doing it this summer. I just don't know when. Yeah. I mean, Michael and Sasha are having a girl.
Yeah.
Which I think ensures that baby is going to be named Monica.
Yeah.
At least one of the names is going to be Monica. And, we'll see. But it's going to be this summer. I kind of think it'll be June. But because I don't think they'll want it to be a sweeps thing.
Right.
So I think it'll be June, and that'll be why she's not at the christening.
Yep. Makes sense.
And when they debut the name, will be at the christening.
Right.
Yeah, I like either. Well, Monica Caroline or Monica Michelle. Yeah. I'm good with all.
So,
Monica Bobby.
Yeah.
Monica Barbara Jean.
Yeah.
There's lots and lots of options.
You're absolutely right. There really is. All right. So let's move on. We mentioned that Laura confronted Alexis about the $10 million missing, and then Alexis, I'll tell you, Alexis just has no luck at all because she's trying to explain it away that she put it into this, this new, mutual fund that's going to bring back some kind of return on investment.
Return. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, here comes her assistant with the paperwork for the money that she sent over to that corporation. Then also,
and then there's I know a shell company when I see one.
Yeah, exactly.
My daddy
and Marco coming in. So I like how he's going to ask her point blank, "Are you laundering money?"
Right. Well, it's also funny too. I mean, Alexis this is when you can tell she's a Cassadine because she just lied.
Yeah.
With absolutely no issue doing so. Just like,
exactly.
Believe me, I'm just a big fat liar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's going to end up being in over her head. And
oh God,
do you think that Christine's going to end up committing herself, or do you think we're going to go the legal route?
I don't know. I mean, Lucky told Liz today, and she agreed to keep the secret.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't get in trouble. Too.
Yes.
And yada yada. But I don't know. I mean, honestly, there's so many people that can get in trouble here. It's almost like mutually assured destruction.
Oh, yeah.
So, they might just, all cover for each other and call it a wash.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? They could do something like that where they're just like,
Yep. Yeah, it's, we heard, first of all, I do want to say that we heard from the folks over at NGE Soaps, Next Generation Soaps, our friend David and Anthony and all them over there, that Jonathan Jackson will be leaving in August. He only did a 1-year contract.
When did he? Okay, so did they update the past couple days? Because the last I heard is he wanted to take his 1 year out, but that Frank was trying to get him to extend to February.
So from what I see, from what it, apparently he's leaving in September, but we may have him through February. So
yes, yeah, because his out's in September, not August.
Right.
He wants to take his out. Frank is trying to get him to stay until February. Now, a lot of Liz fans I've seen have been very upset online
because she's only been
wondering that if she's out.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. She's in contract negotiations right now, which is why they broke her leg. They do things like that just to show them how quickly they can lift out. It's like a hardball thing.
Yeah.
And her contract negotiations, it's not that they're not going well. That's not what it is. It's that Frank's trying to nail JJ down for February before they settle on any final thing with her. Yeah. Because the thing is that they are each other's end game.
Yes.
Be it September or February.
Right.
From what I have heard, they leave together.
Yeah.
I jump, you jump kind of thing. And that's not Becky's choice, but it's what it is.
Yeah.
So that's what's holding up her contract negotiations right now, is trying to figure out what's going on with him.
So Aisha says, hopefully she doesn't drag Michael into her mess. I don't foresee that, considering Michael's got such his other stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Michael's not going to put anything in front of his kids right now.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, go tell Dad, Christina, because there's nothing I can do to help you. I don't think she'll bring him into it anyway. Christina's not
And Goodbye Girl reminds me by saying, hang on, Sloopy, hang on. We do have to wish some condolences to the family of Rick Derringer, who passed away last week. Rick Derringer is a rock icon from the 70s and 80s. He's the one that performs Hulk Hogan's theme song, Real American. He also performed the Demolition theme, for those of you who are wrestling fans. But yes, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. He also did sing the Hang On Sloopy. So our condolences and love go out to the family, friends, and fan of Rick Derringer. Passed away 77 years old last week. But we're all old, Goodbye Girl. So we're all old.
She's real old. Like, Jesus was a classmate old.
Oh, so
yearbook.
So James Law Jr. could have been in the same class too, according to Dave's. According to
and Donna was their principal. Just kidding. I kid. I'm kidding. I'm giving my friends a little back for what they did to me earlier about my new bestie. Anyway.
But yeah, so Lucky and Liz will probably end up leaving together in either September or February.
Yeah. From what I understand, Frank wants it to be February because he wants to do a big romantic Valentine's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Which, Valentine's is a big thing with Lucky and Liz.
Yeah.
So, and then send them off adventuring together. He wants to do a real big, super couple-y send-off kind of thing, which, if your fave has to go, that's a great way to do it.
Agreed. Wouldn't be killed off, so they can come back when they need to.
Exactly. They're off living their best lives, happy and whatnot.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So Portia and Curtis. Portia and Curtis wed on that day. You're right, they did.
Yeah.
But it looks like they may be headed towards Splitsville.
I mean, they need to just put him with Nina, because that's the only woman he'll accept any kind of lie from.
Apparently, you're right.
Every lie she tells.
Yeah.
Every lie she tells is all good.
But maybe it's only because he's not romantically interested in her. Because anybody that he's romantically interested in is the one that he gets mad when they lie to him.
It could be that, or it could just be that he's a douchebag.
Well, yeah.
Hard to tell, really.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard to tell nowadays with anybody, but I agree. But yeah, Portia and Curtis, first off, Carly goes up to Curtis to try to get him to publicly support, Michael, against Drew for the custody stuff. And Curtis has to kind of shut it down and be like, no, that wouldn't be a good look for us. It would probably could backfire on Michael. Yep. And all those are pretty valid reasons.
Right.
But then Curtis goes to Portia.
Carly took it like a very mature adult.
Yes.
I'm loving my girl in her matriarch era.
Yep.
Loving it. Go ahead.
And then, but Curtis gets on Portia and says, I couldn't even support Michael because of your garbage and what he's got over your head.
Yeah.
But then it's like, she's trying to figure out how Drew found out, and then she realized, it's probably Brad. Just
off living his best life with his $1 million.
Exactly. Like he's could be off the grid right now. So
yeah,
she could easily say, go to the higher ups about Brad, and he was the one that gave Drew the ketamine and put his name all over it, and he can give two shits less.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll talk about Lila's ring. Don't worry, Donna. We'll get there.
Yeah, that actually caused a little bit of discourse. Was when Drew made a comment. We can give that ring to Amelia.
Well, it was really funny because give it to Amelia instead of give it to Scout. He already left poor Scout at the nurses' ball, so
exactly.
Well, the thing about this is that technically you're only obligated to give the engagement ring back if the wedding doesn't happen.
Right.
So technically that engagement ring is Willow's to do with what she pleases. It's a douchey thing to do to keep a family heirloom. That was your engagement ring. You should give it back just because it's the right thing to do. But Drew's whole, I have just as much right to this as he does is bullshit because he never knew Lila.
Right.
Michael knew Lila. Lila and Michael were very close.
Yeah.
Michael didn't just get the ring because Lila was his great grandmother. He got the ring because they were very, very close. Even when Carly was hating every other Quartermaine, she still always brought Michael to visit Lila. And, but I've heard some good speculations that there might be something nefarious that Drew does with that ring, but we'll see. I've heard speculation that he might use it to, he might make it look like Willow was murdered.
Oh.
And have her stashed somewhere and use the ring to frame Michael.
Wow. Well, that would surely be a twist.
Yeah. And Cameron Matheson was on set today. He posted from his Instagram, for those of you hoping that they're killing him off. They're not. Or that they had killed him off. They didn't. He was on set today filming 8 episodes over the next 2 days.
Yeah.
So Drew is alive and well in Port Charles.
Yeah, Drew is not going anywhere.
Yes.
And
they're filming end of July into August now because they're dark all of July.
Correct.
So they have to get August in the can before the end of the month.
Yeah.
So
did you have any other spoilers that you would like to release?
I do.
All right. Seeing as it's
Death,
not going to be Drew that's being killed off.
no. It will seem death becomes her. Somebody is getting killed. Somebody's getting murked, as my friend Julia says. Somebody's leaving Port Charles in a body bag.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the fandom will cheer.
Yeah.
I think she kind of got, the short end of, the hairy side of the lollipop, but, It is what it is. We're going to be, oh, wow. All right. Them's fighting words. Fighting words. And who we're killing off is Blue. Blue is dying. We're not waiting for July sweeps. All right. So you heard it here first, folks. General Hospital in July is killing off Natalia. No.
That'll actually cause a round of applause from some people.
It will. I think so. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes. She's going to be dead. That's for darn truth. Yeah. So there is that.
Yep.
And, you can't keep a good man down. They're killing off Natalia, and even though her and Sonny already broke up, that means they can't get back together.
Right.
But he does have his next love interest waiting in the wings. And Sonny, as I posted on my Twitter earlier, some of people got the reference. He certainly has a type.
Yep.
Sonny's next love interest is the ADA.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because she is Carlo Roda's and Frank. Don't forget Frank. She is Carlo Roda's real life wife. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. It's funny because as we see the thing, are we gonna see like a who killed Natalia, or is it gonna be
with her dying in July, I'm kind of thinking so. So we have a new bad guy coming.
Oh, okay.
And it's I don't know who it is, but how interesting would it be if it was Blaze's father?
Yes.
And he comes to town because he thinks either Sonny or Sidwell killed her. It'll end up being some rando or something, because it always is. Or it'll be Christina,
right.
Escaping identity again, trying to kill Ava, and oops, my bad.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm, maybe, honey. So yeah, there's another bad guy coming. Also, speaking of Sidwell, Daniel Goddard spilled that Sidwell is involved with Dalton's research. And as I told you guys before, so is Obrick. Dr. O is also working on it.
Yeah.
So Sidwell and Dr. O.
That could be spicy.
I need these scenes.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to enjoy those.
Those two acting powerhouses together. Just, I can't wait. I'm so excited for this storyline.
Oh, I am too. Completely. Yeah. I am too.
Yeah.
Folks, I do want to remind you that coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight, we will have Gate Crashers talking all about Beyond the Gates, and we'll have a special day. Not only will Kim be joining us, but from Twitter, you know him as Source Ryan. He will be coming on to join us to talk all about Beyond the Gates. That's at 10 o'clock Eastern. So keep your browsers here, whether you're watching on X or YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn. Just keep watching, because this is only the first half of our double dose of soapy goodness for you on a Monday night.
Yes.
So we're going to have some fun. We're going to be talking all about Beyond the Gates, but that starts at 10. We still got some time here for General Hospital. And folks, we're going to actually get into our time machine, get into the DeLorean, if you will, because we are going.
We're sending you back to the future.
We are going to today in General Hospital history. So I will turn it over to Professor Angela.
All right. So we're going back to May 27th, and we start in 1983. So after a presumed dead Luke came back to life and found Holly, his love, married to Robert, Holly actually went to Luke intending to reconcile, but then realized that he would never trust her and went back to Robert and committed to him as his wife. On this day in 1994, everyone gathered for BJ's funeral, which was very, very sad. On this day in 1996, Charlie's sexiversary. Jason and Carly first had sex at Jake's. It was fabulous. They played the song Obsession by Animotion, that great
the theme song to Saturday night's main event.
It was perfect for them. In 1999, on this day, Carly married AJ, which is ironic that she did that on the Charlie sexiversary, and started her plan, which was the stupidest thing son and Jason had ever heard, but yes. And then in 2021, May 27th, General Hospital introduced us to Dr. Austin Gatlin Holt when he delivered the baby in the woods. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Somehow I thought it was before the
nope.
shutdown.
Nope, it was 2021. They killed off Franco that year. It was the year that Sonny was Smike.
Yeah. All right. Oh, wow.
Yep. Then May 28th, this isn't just a General Hospital one. This is an entire soap one. 1974, the first daytime Emmys were held at Rockefeller Plaza in New York City. Hosted by Barbara Walters and Peter Marshall.
Wow.
Yes. So in 1996, Carly woke up in Jason's bed and they agreed to not exchange names. And she teased him that, if he was ever, charged with murder, if he was charged for a murder that happened the night before, he was going to be upset that he didn't get her name. And then he teased her, well, what happens if I'm charged with murder? And she said, well, you better hope I show up again, huh? And that was the start of their summer-long affair, which turned into, the greatest love story on General Hospital that I think. Greatest soap opera love story ever, and we're getting closer and closer. All right, then in 1999, AJ told Carly he'd booked the honeymoon suite for their wedding night, and she panicked and ran to Jason because she did not want to sleep with AJ. 2001, Xander and Emily made love for the first time. And in 2004, a pregnant Sam, who was pregnant with Sonny's baby, agreed to marry Jason to further their lie about him being the father of the baby. May 29th.
It seems to be Jason's thing.
It really is. Carly, Sam, and now Sasha. I remember during the one of my favorite Charlie scenes was during the monkey virus. Her and Jason, Carly and Jason were trying to find the antidote or whatever, and she was sick. And he was taking care of her. She was unconscious. And then when she came to, he told her that she was rambling, and she asked what she said. And he said, you asked me to be the father of your baby. And she said, did you agree? And he said, don't I always? So there was that. And then, all right. So on to May 29th. In 1996, leading up the day before a very important episode of General Hospital, Sonny told a very devastated Brenda that Lily was pregnant, so they could not be together. In 1997, Monica Quartermain had Dr. Pierce Dorman, who she had an affair with, tied up and was threatening to lobotomize him. Because when she had broken off their affair, he sued her for sexual harassment.
Wow.
In 1998, Lucky confronted Laura about marrying her rapist. And those were very hard scenes, but the acting was just nothing like it. So good.
And folks, if you're looking for more on that story, the girls over at Pier 54 are in the middle of a very long Port Charles 411 about Lucky. And I did hear about that during one of their earlier episodes in that run. So check them out. I can't remember what it's like number 30 at this point, but check those out. Could have been last year at some point.
Mm-hmm. In 2006, Patrick and Robin made love for the first time. And in 2013, Franco revealed to Port Charles that he was alive.
I remember that episode like yesterday. He was because he had come back at Roger Howarth. Franco came back during the episode of The Chew that AJ and Tracy were on, and he had poisoned the relishes during the relish wars.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
May 30th, 1996, Jax and Brenda made love for the first time after, Sonny left her standing in the rain. And in 1997, Jason stopped Monica from both lobotomizing and shooting Dorman. In 2001, Kimberly McCullough appeared for the first time as Robin Scorpio on All My Children.
Oh, wow.
To be reunited with her mother, who had been presumed dead. 2002, Alexis found out she was pregnant with Christina. And in 2003, Anna Lee made her last appearance as Lila Quartermain. May 31st, 1996. Clink Boom. One of the biggest GH episodes of that generation or that decade. Just as Brenda and Jax eloped and got married because Sonny dumped her. Sonny had recommitted to Lily. They were out celebrating at Luke's. He had some drinks, so she went to go get the car. And he's watching her walk to the car, all happy and in love. And Jax and Brenda toast to their marriage. And Sonny's car blows up when Lily turns it on. Because her father had planted a bomb thinking that Sonny was going to leave her for Brenda, leave his daughter for Brenda. And instead, he killed his daughter and Sonny's first child. Although I guess Dante would have been before that one, but we thought it was Sonny's first. It was amazing soap storytelling. Just fabulous.
Wow.
Just so good. In 1999, Carly had a very funny nightmare about life as a Quartermain. And you should find those clips. They're very hysterical on YouTube. June 1st, 1987, Robert returned to Port Charles with the news to tell everybody that Holly was dead.
Okay.
In 1997, Port Charles debuted with a special 2-hour primetime episode.
I remember that.
Yep. 1998, Stefan was arrested for Catherine's murder. 1998 also, Luke and Laura discussed the rape, which was absolutely fabulous. 1995, Ned and Lois got married in Brooklyn. There was a location shoot. They were on the Brooklyn Bridge, and Wally Kurth, in 2019, Wally Kurth talked to Soap Opera Digest. And he said, being on the Brooklyn Bridge with Raina, while she and I were in the throes of our own love story, running down the streets of Brooklyn and waving at Claire and her husband, Clem Labine, who were playing neighbors, it was awesome. I like that he was able to remember that nicely, even though they've been long divorced by then.
Yeah.
2001, Robin told Anna she was HIV positive. 2012, Sam gave birth to Danny, another one of Jason's children that they did not acknowledge their birthdays this year. And in 2022, Josh Kelly debuted as Cody by coming through the skylight of the Metro Court in a parachute.
And knocking Britt into the pool.
Now today, yes. On this day, in 2005, Jackson Courtney's wedding day started. And in 1997, Port Charles made its daytime debut because they had the primetime 2-hour special the night before. And that is your week in General Hospital history.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor
Some great
Angela.
things happen.
And
you're welcome.
Going directly from today in General Hospital history, we're going to go right into the what the fudge moment of the week in terms of Kai and Trina. Now, here's the deal. Making love and getting together in a sex scene, that's not the whole what the fudge part of it. The what the fudge part of it is that Kai just got out of the hospital after having spinal surgery, and he and Trina go to have sex. And unless Kai wakes up paralyzed because Trina rode him too hard, there's just a lot of just all the stuff there that
here's the thing though. I mean, he is in that male age group though. That would do it.
Yeah.
You're a guy, come on. It's just like, when, no man was deterred from taking Viagra because they could go blind.
Very true.
I mean, come on.
Damn, we only had a Blue Chew as a sponsor.
What was created first, the cup or the helmet in sports?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it was the cup.
It was. You're right.
And there was a real big time difference between the two.
Yes, there was.
I'm just saying. That's,
But yeah, so after the nurse's ball, they go back to Trina's house and, and they're talking about it, and they're talking about what happened with Gio, and they missed a perfectly good opportunity that Trina could say, I relate to Gio because I had always thought that Taggart was my father, but instead Kai brings up, you're missing Spencer, aren't you? What?
Well,
that was a little awkward.
Yeah.
Like, they had the perfect opportunity to mention Taggart. Now, I don't know if Real Andrews is on bad terms with GH or whatever, but they just have not even brought up anything about Taggart being, Trina's father. Like, it's been erased mystery.
He is.
I kind of figured it.
There was a bad breakup there.
I kind of figured it, but either way, just all around, I'm sorry, but Kai got out of the hospital early because Stella pulled some strings so that he could just walk Trina down the red carpet, and then they're back in Trina's place and they're having sex.
To me, it makes sense because he's a boy in that age group. I'm more surprised that Trina would do it, but not at all surprised whatsoever that a man would risk paralysis to get some.
Very true. Very true. Yep.
Yeah.
But folks, the What the Fudge moment of the week is brought to you by What the Fudge Homemade Confections in New Haven, Connecticut area. It is made by a cottage kitchen, so they can't ship, unfortunately, but you always meet up with them and go to whatthefudgect.com or facebook.com/whatthefudgect for their current flavors. Also, if you're in the Durham, Connecticut area, the Durham Farmers Market every Wednesday evening, What the Fudge will be there selling her fudge. So I do want to let everybody know that check it out and taste it. It's delicious if you're in the area. Again, whatthefudgect.com or facebook.com/whatthefudgect. All right. We got to get to it here because Gio and Emma were fantastic this week. I really like their budding friendship and what could be a relationship.
Yes, I
And
do.
somehow, Anya, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I am not putting that comment up on the screen.
Yes.
But yes, Gio and Emma. Emma has been by Gio's side for every step of this whole thing, and I really and truly love their friendship.
I do too, and honestly, it is like her most redeeming characteristic to me right now, because so many ways she's reminding me of her mother in the worst ways, and I'm like, I really want to like her because I like her and Gio. I like the possibility of a friendship with her and Joss, but I need her to pull her head out of her ass when it comes to Joss, because my God.
Yeah.
But I love her and Gio, and she's so fabulous with him. She was ride or die.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, the stuff with Tracy and Gio.
Oh yes, I was going to get to that, but
okay, sorry. We can stay at Gio and Emma if you need to.
No, we can move on to Tracy, because Tracy. I'm sorry, but folks, Tracy Quartermain is being nominated for the Character of the Year for the Sudsies. So I would recommend go over there and just vote for her, because this whole year, I know that the judging period ended in April, but Tracy has been phenomenal. I mean, for somebody who has been relatively, I want to say cranky and just, a lot of other things throughout the year. She's been more business sense, more of just blunt and to the point, and all this other stuff. She has shown so much compassion and so much emotion over this past year. I'm sorry, even beyond the Suds, give her a freaking daytime Emmy.
She has been just so amazing. Just so, and I mean, I don't know why I'm constantly she's so good, because I mean, I've never seen Jane Elliott be bad in a story. Never once. I mean, she was good in the Pickle Lila story.
Yeah.
I mean, so was Sean Kanan, but I mean, that's a story that was very hard to be good in because it wasn't a great story, right. But she makes gold out of no matter what they give her. She's just fabulous. And I don't know why I'm continually just blown away, because I should just expect it, but she just continues to blow me away.
Just the way that she was caught up. Hi, Jennifer. Well, thank you for the chat. Just big Gio and Emma fan. But just the way that she kind of caught up when she brings Gio into the living area and showing him all of Edward and Lila's stuff, and showing the picture and saying, "Here, your they're your great grandparents," and just amazing how much you could feel the emotion that was there.
Yeah,
like
she's lost so much, and she's been doing everything she could to keep the Quartermains together.
Yeah.
And they're a new member, and he's hers.
Yeah.
And it's just, and she already liked him. And it was just so 10 out of 10. No, chef's kiss again.
No, just all of her scenes over the past week were fantastic, because first off, she comes home upset because she had to take the bus home from the police station, and she's mad because she had to, because she was arrested, and
And then the scenes with her and Ned.
Oh God, yes. And I love how she ribs him at the end, but you're a horrible son for making me sit at the police station.
Exactly. I love their natural chemistry. It still cracks me up that they played lovers on another soap.
Yeah. And then
I love them. Love them, and I just love her, and yeah.
And then Tracy and Olivia talking about it, and she's like, you can't blame yourself. You couldn't see into the future. Well, at that point.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I told my boss, I made a reference to that at work today because we were talking about how we had such a busy weekend. And I was talking to him about what's been going on. The only thing you do is nobody can tell the future. I'm like, but I learned from General Hospital that if you're injected with LSD, you'll become a fortune teller in some way.
Right. Yeah. You can be.
I'm not willing to do
someone,
that.
Yeah. You just have to have a little psychedelics. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Anya, you're right. Jason was funny too with the police department when Michael called.
Like, I gotta go. I got a thing.
Yep.
I
And then Max saying, the bus stop is right out in front.
Bus stop's right up front. Yeah. You imagine being that poor woman, that poor bus driver.
Oh God.
Trying to stop at other stops.
Yep.
Just gonna be like, get on the bus. This just became an express. I didn't see Ned in the courtroom, but I don't know because we didn't see everybody in the courtroom, so I don't know if Ned's there or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. But Tracy has been fantastic. But I mean, just the way that she was explaining things to Gio, and I really liked how, the whole story has kind of unfolded, and everybody's justified in their feelings. And you know what? This isn't the typical soap story in terms of the way that the secret came out and Gio, thinking that his whole life is a lie and smashing the violin because that was a piece he thought he had from his mother, and in all of just everything that encompasses it, and Tracy and Ned and the scenes with Ned in Brooklyn and Ned saying, I'm just sad that you didn't think you could trust me.
Right.
Oh my God. Just an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, it has. It's just been fabulous.
Yeah. And you know what? It's not stopping.
No, it's not. And honestly, I think GH gets the Emmy next year for this storyline. I know that Days has the John Black death and Bo. I think that GH gets the Emmy for this storyline in particular. It's just too good. It's just too good.
No, you're absolutely right. Ever since, GH has been on fire for a number of months at this point, but ever since they started, we'll say the first week of May sweeps until now, and there's no sign of stopping. They're just on this. They're just on fire.
Yeah.
Moving forward, like they. I don't know what it is, but it's just must see. You have to catch it every single day. According to Anya, the acting is far better on GH, and I think GH has the best acting in general of all the stuff.
I do too. I think they have the best production value, the best writing, the best acting. I really do, across the board. And I like other shows. I love Days of Our Lives. I love Beyond the Gates. There are parts of YNR I love, parts of Bold and the Beautiful, but I love, but GH is the crown jewel, in my opinion.
It really is. There's no two ways about it. And it shows why it's still there. And for all the haters out there, they're bashing Frank because of, for whatever reason it is, give it another day, there'll be another reason.
Yeah.
Frank Valentini has been fantastic at the helm of General Hospital. ABC likes him. ABC is happy with him, happy with the show. They're not going anywhere. And you're right, Donna. Their accelerator is stuck, and it can stay stuck because it's fantastic. just fantastic. Everything. There's no down top. There's no down point.
And the haters, I know that they don't want to hear this and they don't believe me, but they would have a better chance of Disney firing Mickey Mouse than getting rid of Frank Valentine.
Yeah.
Frank leaves when he wants to leave, period, end of story. And I'm fine with that. So.
Yeah. No,
yeah. I mean, Frank we wouldn't have a soap if not for Frank.
Yep. It's true.
So, yeah. We have somebody returning this week for a little bit of a pop in.
Okay.
Hat Daddy's back.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Marshall's coming back for Curtis and Portia's family gathering.
Oh, I'm happy for that.
Yep. So he's coming back in. You know, they could probably use his help. A little bit of marriage counseling. I do thank you, Frank, a lot, and I do thank you, Frank. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Ray. You know, GH.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, so folks, we gotta get that trending because so many people want to do the fire Frank. We're gonna start doing thank you Frank or thank Frank.
Mm-hmm. He's great.
He is. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. It'd be good to see Marshall coming back this week for a little bit. I like Robert Gossa. He's fantastic. Anything else that we have to go over that we didn't talk about? I don't believe so. I think we kind of covered everything. I did like the scenes with Cody and Sasha where they were just kind of talking about what's been going on and how Cody felt bad for Dante because of what came out and it's fine. They're trying to kind of make up, put the friendship together.
I know what I wanted to cover.
Yes.
Maxie and Nina.
Oh yes. Yep.
What the hell, Maxie? My sweet God.
Yep.
And then there was something I wanted to talk about too. So people are confused.
Okay.
People were confused about why Wiley recognized Michael. People were confused about how Nina had a picture of Michael that the bartender would recognize. They are not playing a Michael has a new face storyline.
No.
They very clearly said when Chad was still there in the coma that Michael's face had not been burned. They are just saying this is what Michael looks like, and it's what he's always looked like. And this is a soap opera. Yeah. The only time they do somebody has a new face is if they're hiding who that person is, like they did with Billy Miller's Drew, Jake Doe, yada, yada, yada. They don't do it when everybody knows who it is. Yeah. They just, this is one of those suspend disbelief in soaps things.
And I think what really threw people off was that one scene in Sonny's office where they zoomed in on that picture of Michael and Morgan, and it was Chad Duell and Brian Craig. But this is before they cast Rory Gibson as Michael.
Exactly. And I guarantee you the next time we see pictures that are Michael, it's going to be Rory.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I guarantee you that the pictures on Carly's mantle, the pictures, and Sonny's office, those are going to be Rory.
Yeah.
So
thank you, Donna, for posting thank Frank. # thank Frank. No, and it's true because it didn't, it was in General Hospital universe, Rory Gibson's face is Michael, then now forever. Right. Until exactly.
Exactly.
It
was just like when Billy Warlock took over for Sean Kanan. It was just like when every new Carly took over.
Yep. And the same thing when Chad Duell took over from the other kid.
Yes, from Drew Garrett. And when Drew took over from the redheaded demon.
Yeah, Drew Garrett, right? I think his name was. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so and it made no sense, and it was never ever said he has a new face. So
Same with Karen Matheson and Bill Miller.
Yeah, exactly.
He grew a foot and
Yep.
looks completely different, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so Nina clearly knows that it's not that Sasha's not carrying Jason's baby. She's confided in Ava. Ava's has asked, well, are you gonna bring it out, or so obviously Nina is wrestling with a lot right now. But you know what? If what you said is true, and Ava does tell Rick,
that's what I think is going to happen, because Rick's questioning puts Sasha into labor on the stand.
Yeah. Which means that she's going to go into labor and not answer the question. So
right.
It'll never be under oath.
Also says that Willow jumps into action. So I think Willow's delivering Michael's baby, which is a lot of fun, because that's a throwback to Monica Quartermain and Leslie. I'm not sure if it was Alan's baby or Leslie's man's baby. And Leslie had to deliver AJ. So it was a fun,
Nina's tribal name. Yeah. She who whines with every breath.
Whines or lies.
Yeah.
And Sasha does know about Nina and Drew, which is fun, because
folks, we have 350 people currently watching live right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because anytime something comes on this network, whether it's wrestling or soap related, you will get notified. youtube.com/@suds-media. So Jennifer says if Frank Valentini can pull off this reset, I'll thank him regularly. What reset?
Yeah, I don't even think. See, a lot of people think GH needs one. I don't think so. I think they're doing great and have been for a while. But
yeah, I mean, they had a reset.
We know that.
They had a reset last summer when they finalized their writing team.
Right, but, and that like last year wasn't like, I saw some people today were giving me crap about my belief that Jason and Carly are coming romantically, which they are. It's a fact. Co-partner deal, whatever. And they're like, well, if they were going to do it, why didn't they do it already? What's stopping them? Which is the stupidest argument in the world with a soap opera anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you got to remember, they went through 3 writing shakeups last year.
Yeah.
Massive ones. And we just got new breakdown and script writers starting too in May. You've noticed a lot of people have noticed some new names at the beginning of the show. They have some new breakdown and scriptwriters. So, a lot of that's very disruptive.
Yeah.
And the network mandated that they fire Kelly Monaco, which threw the writing into, they spent the entire July dark month last month rewriting things to kill off Sam.
Yeah.
Which was insane.
Right.
They have to, because it's not just like you kill somebody and then you just go on with the other stories you had planned. It's, because things like that have a ripple effect.
Yeah.
And, I think they've done great with the chaos that they've had.
Yeah.
So.
Fantastic. And the breaks aren't coming on anytime soon. Believe me.
I think, David, did you miss my spoilers?
I think he might have.
I think David missed the spoilers.
He did. And folks, David is from NGE, Next Generation Entertainment Soaps, which is on it's the second and fourth Mondays of the month on 2020 The Beacon. So check them out every other Monday.
They're great.
So
okay, he said he did, so I'll recap them real quickly for you, David. They are... Natalia's leaving. We already knew that. You know that. However, you may not know they're killing her. They've already filmed it. She's dying in July. And they are pairing Sunny with the ADA. And they are going to be throwing all of the 30-somethings into a big... Venn diagram of triangles. And we're going to have a little bit of Brooklyn and Dante, a little bit of Cody and Lulu, a little bit of this, that, and the other. So it's a veritable soap opera smorgasbord. It's great. Yeah. But so Sunny in the ADA, and Natalia is biting the big one.
All right. And with that, we are going to shut down for right now. We'll be back in about a half hour at 10 p.m. Source Ryan will be joining us with Kim and Angela and I to talk all about Beyond the Gates on Gate Crashers. 10 p.m. Eastern, coming right up in about 35 minutes. So any final thoughts? David is shocked.
David is shocked. He needs a moment. He has the vapors. He's a fainting couch. Somebody get smelling salts for poor David. We'll chat on Facebook, David. No, I've expressed all of my thoughts. You've had them.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we'll be back at 10 p.m. with Gate Crashers. So for Angela, I'm Vinny. We will be back in almost a half hour with Gate Crashers. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.